Hi, Shaney Joe. Thank you so much for taking the time to Zoom with me today.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. It's good to see you as always. And we're so happy to be working with you again this year.
And first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time, but I also want to thank you for, giving us the opportunity and honor of partnering up with you guys this past 2 years and again this year. I have to say that all of us here at Estetica really find, you know, the foundation of Keep Abreast to be so compelling and so inspiring, and that you have such a unique vision. So I wanted just to take a little bit of time to ask you about that vision. Like, what can you talk a little bit about that vision and where that came from?
I think I grew up as a visionary. I was just born a visionary. I was born that way. But I was just always, as a young person, like always growing up, I was like the weird one, or like the just doing like something totally different than everyone else. I was into fashion and I studied fashion design and I made my own clothes and I worked in the skateboarding industry. So I always really was pursuing a path that was creative, that was just fueled by my natural instinct to create things. And I loved sewing and I loved making things with my hands. And that just extended into the work I do with Keep Abreast and, the vision I have for the future of Keep Abreast.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I really, find inspiring about the vision that you have is that it really is so all-encompassing, and it doesn't have sort of a singular focus of just one thing. It's just, finding a tool or doing this. But I've seen, how far-reaching that vision is, particularly when I look at, two things that we've talked about that I've looked at with Keep Abreast, particularly the Give Back grant, as well as the big things that you're doing with the Check Yourself app. And I just wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about that. Why the Give Back grant? How did that first start? Where did that first come from?
Thank you. Yeah, the Give Back Grant is really special. It's new. We started it last year for our 20th anniversary, and we were having a big exhibition in Nashville, Tennessee. So we're from California, but we do work all over the world. And these casts are something you've seen before. So we had an exhibition in Nashville with 87 of these busts last year. And when we go into communities that are new to us, that are unique to us, we always try to see like, how can we leave an impact here that's long term, not just like show up there, get a bunch of press, do something cool, and then, okay, bye. We want to like do something that will make a difference. And so we started reaching out to organizations in Nashville, primarily supporting women of color, because it is a community that is very diverse. And there is a lot of specifically Black women in Tennessee. And there is a need for, support for these women with breast cancer. And so with the grant, initially it started out specifically for women of color, but in Tennessee, we found that it was more attractive to Black women. And we had 16 women that we gave the grant to last year just in Tennessee. So it was, it was a big deal, but also small, not a lot of women, but still 16 is a lot of women to support. And I just wanted that to be like simple. When you're going through breast cancer, especially during a pandemic, you have so many things that are happening in your life. So I just wanted the grant application process to be no red tape, super simple. Here's 500 bucks. It's a $500 grant and you can use it how you want. So really with like little to no restrictions. You can use it for acupuncture, you can use it for gas, you can use it for an investment in your own small business, hospital bills, take a vacation, whatever. It's like your money, and it's just to help give like a little bit of ease in an experience that sucks. So that's how it started. And this year we were very, very blessed. We got $100,000 grant from the Clara Lionel Foundation, which has enabled us to grow this program nationwide. So this year, we're able to support 200 women of color who are breast cancer survivors all across the USA.
That's so
It's a
fantastic.
lot. So I'm really excited. 16
16
to
to like
200.
200, that is
So
amazing.
cool.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. And I love that the grant, the way you've made it so open, because in a time where you're really, physically, mentally, emotionally struggling, every little thing, whether it's even to, you know, go on a vacation, go somewhere, or buy something little, just to, lift your spirits. I mean, that is so valuable, so
Yeah. Or some people used it for rent or their mortgage or things they just really, really needed support with. So
absolutely.
it's it's not for me to tell them what they need.
I love that. I mean,
Because
that's so indicative and so reflective of the work that Keep It Breast does. And kind of moving on, then looking at, you just mentioned the pandemic, and I just think it's amazing the stuff your check yourself app. It is fantastic, especially in a time period where people, are not as comfortable going out to see doctors or that kind of situation. And having that app, I think, is just fantastic. And the fact that it's now being translated in Spanish, I wanted you to talk a little bit about that as well. I mean, I know that you worked with, people in Mexico and NGOs and nonprofits and, hospitals down there. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that.
yeah, I mean that our app we've had for many, many, many years now, and the most recent edition of the app, when we launched it last year, it was really important for us, especially because of the pandemic, to be able to connect people with care right away. Because many people, like you said, weren't going to their doctor's appointments, were just putting things off. And so, what's happening now because of the pandemic, what we're seeing is later diagnosis. So many women now who are being diagnosed with breast cancer are later stages than normal times, whatever that means. We don't even know anymore. So with the app, it's for us, it's free access to healthcare. It in the palm of your own hand, it shows you how to do your self-check. It sends you an automatic reminder once a month. And if you find something, it will take you through these steps of questions. What did you find? Where did you find it? You can take all these notes in there and you could save the notes so you can go back to them. Or if you do have a doctor's appointment and none of us remember that stuff, you could go back to your notes and be like, oh, on, March 15th, I felt this here. And you can even forward the notes to your doctor. And you can make a virtual care appointment with our partner, Carbon Health, within 10 minutes. And so this is like never been done. No one's ever done it. We're the first. Because that time period is so scary, right? You don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You're Googling. And, we want to alleviate some of that stress and fear that goes along with a potential diagnosis.
And I love that, as I said before, I think another one of the many things that I find to be, so compelling about Keep It Breast is that you see a need. Your foundation sees a need in communities, and where that need is, you will address this. You will go and you'll address those needs. Whether it's making sure that the app is accessible in different languages. Really looking at the need in Nashville and addressing that, and then growing it even bigger. There is you have such a big vision. It encompasses so much. And, even with the non-toxic revolution, fit to prevention, like you have so many, it's a holistic look and a lifestyle. And I think that's what really sets you apart. And I love that, and so, that's why I wanted other people to hear more about it, and more about why we feel so strongly about the work that you do, so, I mean, if there's nothing else, Mitch, anything else you want to add or say, or let our followers and our accounts and users know?
I mean, thank you so much. It's really like I feel very seen. Keep abreast now so well. And it's not about us, it's about you. It's about all the women out there, and it's about generations. It's about the younger women in our families, educating them like it's old school style, right? Like you think of back to, you know, days old, whatever. We learn things from our elders, stories, information, recipes, how to stay healthy, all these, like non-toxic alternative things. And culturally those things are important. Like in all of our cultures we have different things, and part of that is, not being ashamed of our bodies as women. And these days there's so much sadness going on with women's health and our own rights and access to healthcare and all these things. So it's really just about community, and you do such a great job of community, right? I mean, someone who comes, into a store to buy, a wig or something, it's like that's a very personal. So it's not like you're just going in to buy socks. It's like you guys create relationships and community with what you do, and with part of that is sharing, girl talk information. So just sharing the app and your girl talk, it's a normal thing to do, and we got to keep doing it. And just thank you guys for your support.
Thank you, Shaney. And you, exactly, the word relational. That's what we love so much about Keep Abreast, that it's so relational. It's so genuine, it's so real. And that means so much to us because, the people of our wig community is so important to us, and such amazing people make up that community. And it's so wonderful to see, the work that you do in all those different communities. So
Oh,
I
thanks.
thank you again,
And yeah,
and
we're a small organization, I mean, this looks nice, but if you turn around, you see this table, it's like we're stuffing envelopes, after hours, like we're doing the work. So we're right there with you.
And thank you so much. We're so excited about October and to continue our partnership. And thank you again, Shaney Jo. I really, really appreciate you taking the time and also just giving us the opportunity to partner up with you.
Oh, well, thanks. And thanks to everyone watching, and hit us up if you need anything. We're here for you.
Thank you.